Sunday edition of Wasatch Weekends. Today was originally supposed to be one of the closing days of Park City Mountain Resort, and we still have so much time for you to get out there and enjoy the mountain. I'm your host today, Maddie Evans, and I love getting to be here every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Now, we've had such a wonderful weekend. Now, you can get out, you can ski, you can ride today, you can enjoy Park City Mountain for just a little bit longer because they're making it all the way to May. Now, we've got a great show in store for you as we're going to introduce you to a wonderful small town story here in our community, but also camping season, hopefully, eventually, when we don't have so much snow, will be right around the corner, and there's a great product that if you love coffee, you should definitely have on all of your camping endeavors. We're going to take a look at that local weather forecast, and when we do, we're going to take a short break, and then we're going to come back with more of the show.
This resort report is brought to you by Sun and Ski Sports, your new mountain sports headquarters.
There's a great product out there if you love to go camping and you love to make sure that you have your coffee that's also really good for the environment, and that's steeped coffee. We had the chance a couple weeks back to chat with them about some of the incredible products that they make, how you can get your hands on them, where you can find them at local retailers, and how you can enjoy them now that camping season is slowly starting to come up, now that we're finally starting to see some spring-like weather conditions here and there pretty sporadically. It's a great time to start thinking about camping, and this is one of those products that you're not going to want to miss out on. So let's take a look at Steeped. Do you love coffee? Well, now there's an easier way to have access that's more friendly to the environment, and that's Steep Coffee, and we've got Ron Scadina joining us. Ron, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me. Quite an honor.
We love coffee here, as you can imagine. We're up quite early, and this is a great way to get coffee on the go, but also to enjoy it if you're someone who loves the outdoors.
The coffee is fantastic in the outdoors. It's great on the run. All you need to do is add a little bit of hot water or cold water, actually, and you can make coffee within 2 to 3 minutes.
Which is something that makes it nice and convenient for everyone to get their hands on some delicious coffee. And so Steep Coffee is a new way for people to enjoy it. So for people who have not heard of Steep, can you explain what it is to us?
Simply coffee in a tea bag. We've created a proprietary process to actually grind the coffee at a certain micron, put the coffee in a special sachet that allows the water to agitate the coffee, and then we nitrogen seal the coffee in a bag, so we have a 12-month shelf life, and it's fully compostable, so you can take it anywhere you want to go. And we're using the SCA specifications to 14.2 grams of coffee to 8 ounces of water.
Which makes it super convenient, and especially for those people who are outdoor enthusiasts. So whether you're skiing, biking, hiking, backpacking, camping, this is the perfect way to have this in your car ready to go. That way you can have coffee whenever you want it.
Have you had a chance to try it?
I have not had a chance to try it yet, and I'm a coffee fiend. If I told you how many cups of coffee I've had alone today, you would be amazed.
Well, if it's interesting. If you go to our website, you'll see that you pop down on where to get the coffee, and it's at 5,000 points of distribution across the country right now, including Whole Foods nationally and 576 Walmart stores as well.
So it's easy for people to get their hands on steep coffee, and something that's special about what you guys do is you're also blending in these mushrooms that help support immune systems, which this is kind of a phase or like a fad right now that's taking over, having this mushroom support.
So interesting you bring that up. We actually package right now for 450 roasters across America that pay us to package for them using our technology. One of our partners and our first partner in the functional space created a product with mushrooms that they infuse into the coffee. We package it for them, so we're their packaging partner. They're using our proprietary method to secure the coffee, keep it fresh, but they've created this proprietary process on the mushroom side of the infusion. They're in Colorado, and the name of that company is Peak State, State, and they're one of our partners. And as you know, that we've been nominated for an award for innovation, not only with our packaging, but with the mushroom coffee as well.
Which is something that's so incredible. And the fact that you guys are so sustainable for our environment really shows that you love that outdoor lifestyle, which also speaks volumes to your product, since this is one that you can always use when you're enjoying the outdoors.
And the nice thing was when you get done using it, you won't leave an imprint right on it'll break down since it's fully compostable. And there's nothing else like it in the world.
So what was the inspiration behind Steep?
Our CEO he used to take a suitcase full of equipment, a scale, a pour over kettle, coffee, and his grinder. And he would spend all this time packing everything to go to his in-laws. And he said he thought there's got to be a simpler way. So he started innovating and creating this about 7 years ago, so that when he travels now, all he needs is a steep sachet, coffee in a tea bag. And the nice thing is it also makes cold brew overnight within 24 hours. So you just add cold water, it makes cold brew. It's stronger in 48 hours, 72 hours. But that was the innovation. A man named Josh Wilbur created it.
Which, I mean, I've mentioned it now. I love coffee and I love caffeine, and you're not going to miss any of the caffeine with regular coffee by enjoying a bag of Steep, correct?
Correct. So what we did is we looked at French press and we looked at pour over, and we combined these two in creating this sachet. So when you dip and dunk it, it extracts and agitates the coffee so that it yields the caffeine that's in normal French press or a pour over. So we call this method the French press without the mess. And you and I all know that we've made French press and left it on the counter too long, because our partners then had to remind us it should be in the garden. The grind should be in the garden, not on the counter.
Right. My mom is a big coffee drinker as well, and she has an espresso machine at home. And yeah, she goes through the coffee grounds or the espresso bean grounds so frequently that that's something that she definitely uses in her garden. Now, as people are looking into getting it, you guys do carry a lot of different types of coffee. And so which one is your favorite?
I love a coffee that we had roasted by one of our partners in Oakland from Mr. Espresso, and we created a coffee that's French roasted, but it's also roasted over oak wood. So the nice thing is the way it roasts, then it takes longer to roast the coffee, but it brings out these incredible flavors that you don't get unless you use oak wood. So I like the breakwater coffee. That's my favorite. And this coffee also won the award at the Nexties at the Expo 2021 as Best New Coffee and Coffee and Tea category. So the Breakwater is my favorite, but I also like the Eventide when I don't want the caffeine in the afternoon. It's a single origin Ethiopian Swiss water process. So you get also this incredible coffee without any chemicals or decaf.
I feel like coffee is such a simple luxury, but it is a luxury product for so many, and this is just such a great way for people to enjoy it, have a smaller carbon footprint while doing so, and then of course, probiotics, immune system boosting, and all of these great aspects to just make that simple pleasure even better.
After listening to you, I would definitely ask you to join our team as an evangelist, because you obviously understand it well, and I appreciate the time and energy you spent to learn about what we do and how we do it, and just being able to share it with the world.
Ron, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us, and thank you for taking that carbon footprint that coffee has been leaving behind and getting rid of it. That way you can be sustainable, caffeinated, and also if you need probiotics or your immune system boosted, you're ready to go. One of the great segments that we love to do here is small town stories, only because we love to highlight some of our incredible local businesses, how you can get involved, or maybe some of our wonderful nonprofits. And so we're really excited to introduce you to a small town story right now.
Hey everyone, right now we are joined by Andrea Cox for Small Town Stories presented by the Park City Chamber. Andrea, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you, Blake.
We are super excited to have you here. We just want to get to know you and talk a little bit about your career and all sorts of things like that. So let's just kick things off with how did you get involved in real estate and what do you do specifically?
Okay, so I got licensed in 2016. I'm a mortgage broker in town. I believe it's the best model for a borrower, for somebody trying to get some financing. It's the most open and it gives the most options regarding the property and the borrower. But truly my background goes back to finance. I worked for PricewaterhouseCoopers as an auditor. And then in New York, while working for a German company called Bertelsmann, it's a music company, media company, I started to move into the IT arena. So later in life, I worked for SAP. So I was a project manager, a director of pre-sales. So I've been, the corporate ladder. And but what made me change was that in 2016, my daughter was 5 at the time, and I was traveling internationally, taking red eyes, trying to stay present with her and with my job. It was really unmanageable. So through a mom at a ballet class that she owned an office in Salt Lake, a mortgage company, she said, with your background, project management, finance, pre-sales, you'll be great at this job. So I got licensed and never looked back. I love what I do. I love my clients. I'm excited to help, instead of helping companies, now to help people. And that was my daughter's elevator pitch, actually, since she was 5.
That is absolutely fascinating. I mean, I think one of the big things that sticks out is that you really never looked back at the old job, at your previous career. What is it about what you do now? Obviously, you mentioned working with people and things like that, but what was it about the change that made you go, I'm never going to look back, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life?
Well, again, I always say my clients, my clients, my clients. I love my clients. I have one daughter and then all my clients that I mother, if you will. I love the creator part in the beginning, really to understand my client's portfolio and advise them with the best debt combination they can have. I truly believe a mortgage is the best debt that anybody can have. Why? Is because it's against a home, so it will carry the best rate and terms than any other debt, that a car debt, credit card debt, any other debt. So I'm not just an application taker. I keep studying the markets, and again, my clients come in with a need. Let's say they want a loan for a lot. Well, a lot is a piece of dirt, so it's going to have the worst type of rate and terms. So I look at their portfolio. Can they cash out, refinance on the primary home? Where can they get the most value for that financing situation? And I have tons of examples, and I have built amazing relationships through my job. So I'm very passionate about it. And again, I always joke that it's an undercover to make great friends, because throughout that process, I become very close with my clients. So that's something that I feel is my calling. I will not change it for the world.
If you were to say maybe to someone who is looking to get into this type of career, what would be some advice that you would have for them?
It depends on why they want to get into this career, right? It's not easy, it's stressful. So it depends on what they're looking for or what they're looking to do, right? If they're just primarily looking to work and take applications and so on, I will recommend, go and work for a bank where you maybe have a salary, or for a direct lender where, there's more structure. Being a broker I think is the best model, but it's the toughest model. So you really need to be committed and be passionate about it. So that's what I will advise. Make sure that it's something you want to do, because it's not easy.
Yeah, I mean, definitely can't be easy, and especially right now. I mean, there's been a huge uptick in terms of inflation and housing prices going up, interest rates rising as well. So it's been a very difficult time to invest in property and in real estate in general. How have you been able to combat that over the last couple of years?
Yeah, this year, the main thing with the rates are everything is relative, right? So my first home in 1993, a long time ago, my rate was 8.75, and it was a great rate. The rates went up for way higher than that later. I think the biggest challenge or shock for everybody is that the rates now went up very fast, right? So that the speed, and when we went in from the 3s to now the 7s and so on. So that's a huge leap in a very short amount of time. However, my advice always to my clients and when I talk to them is don't let the rate scare you. If you find the home you want, this is a great time to negotiate pricing, to get seller concessions. Rates are temporary. So a year from now or 2 years from now, we can refinance in a better situation if the rates go down. If the rates go up, then you'll be in a good situation. So it's a little bit about getting over that mental challenge of the rates going up so fast. But again, I believe rates are temporary. Anything that goes up, it comes down. So we will see that happening. And if you find the property you want, I'm fortunate that most of my clients are also real estate investors, and they understand that, so they haven't slowed down, and it gives them more opportunities. When we had more what's called a seller's market, when the prices on the home was going up and up, and there were so many bids over bids, multiple bids in the same home. That was no good because you were overpaying for the property. Yes, you might have gotten a smaller rate, but that doesn't affect you in your whole overall portfolio, right? So yeah, for me is buyers, keep buying if you want to. Great time to negotiate, great time to work with seller concessions. I'm fortunate to work with amazing agents that understand how to structure the deal and work with me so we can do the best for the seller and the buyer.
How much are you dealing with other people? You've mentioned how much you care and meeting other people and how much you care about them and their portfolios as well as just their investments in general. But the other side of it is obviously the work, the studying, all of those things. What do you prefer? What do you enjoy more? What brings you more joy? Working with the people or studying the market and learning more about how to get better at your job?
Well, working with people is my favorite. And the main reason is also most of my career has been kind of lonely in a way. I was working from home, and if not, I was traveling to clients and making presentations, so there was short interactions with people. So I love to work with people. However, to serve them better, I need to study, and I love to study. I love to learn new things. I love to bring my past experience into this industry. This industry is a little bit behind in technology and best practices, if you will. So I love to always challenge the systems and say, hey, why can't we do the CD at front instead of waiting that then we have to wait 72 hours to be able to close and start waiting for that. So I always try to do things proactively, and for that, of course, I have to be well educated with market strategies, with new strategies, given the market conditions. Like right now, for example, when the rates are going up, one strategy that is great is called seller buy down, where the seller contributes X amount of dollars to buy down the rate for the borrower. That helps tremendously, and the seller has also benefits to that. It's a little bit more a detail that I could give you, but let's talk about that strategy for now. Then there's some other strategies now in the market. It's called 2-1 buy down, where you can buy down the rate for 2 years and see what happens after 2 years. And there's pros and cons of everything, but I like to present that to my clients and show them, what is their break even, and really educate them. They can become mortgage people, right? I'm doing this day in, day out, but I like to educate them enough that they are in empowered to make their best decision for them, right? So, education is hand in hand with really serving my clients the best possible way. So.
How can people, this is my last question, how can people reach out to you if they're looking to invest, if they're looking to buy property or anything like that? How can they get involved with you and in your business and things like that?
Yeah, well, I have a website, it's andreacoxmortgage.com, and also people Google me. Some of my most amazing clients, I met them through their search in Google. So, and I do have, funny, that it says that I'm available 24/7, and that is true. I had a client calling me at 11 o'clock to check that I was true, and I did answer the phone. I believe it's a very stressful and intimate transaction to get a loan, because I have to understand their assets, their finances, but also all their debt. So it's important to meet with somebody that they feel they can trust, and the same way the other way. So I explained that to my daughter, because sometimes she complains about, we don't even go camping without a booster for our Wi-Fi. So, that's super important. So, but yeah, my website, and also my personal phone is 954-496-2400. Andrea Cox.
Well, that is fantastic. I mean, it seems like you take care of your clients so much, and we really appreciate it. Andrea, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you, Blake. It's a pleasure.
Of course, of course. We're going to be right back here in just a little bit. Don't go anywhere.
Do you love great music? Well, then Man with a Mission is the band for you. And I'm here with John, Ken, Johnny. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us.
Hi there, this is Johnny from Man with a Mission from Japan right now. Thank you very much for your time.
I love the wolf mask. And so how has your tour been? How are you feeling with all your new music? Tell us everything.
No, it's been great. I mean, it's been quite a while since we last toured in America, probably 4 years or something like that. Yeah, and we're really excited to come back. Yeah, it's a real pleasure to perform in front of you guys again.
It's a real pleasure to have you back here, and it's just a real pleasure to get to have the opportunity to chat with you. Now, I was going through and watching some of your music videos a little bit earlier, and the graphics that you guys use are absolutely crazy, and I love watching the plot line of some of the stories. And so how do you guys come up with these great ideas?
Oh, you're talking about the video kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when you're talking about the music videos, we've always worked with really great directors, always having a lot of conversations with what kind of music video we want it to be, stuff like that. Well, the directors always have a tough time because we're not like normal human beings, so they always have to think about, how to make it fit in the story. But I appreciate that you guys you love the videos. Thank you so much.
And I love the wolf mask. So can you give us a little bit of background on how you guys came up with the concept of the wolf heads?
Well, actually, you're talking like this is a mask or something like that, but this is what we are. This is not a mask. We were born like this. Yeah.
Oh, I got it. I misunderstood completely the concept of, well, then you were born so beautifully.
Thank you very much. Well, yeah, it's not a concept. We were born this way. The band was performed in 2010, 13 years. Well, before that, yeah, we had nothing to do with music. So, yeah, we were born a long time ago. But it's going to be a short interview, so I'm going to skip that one.
All right, well, I will take that. Now, let's talk about your excitement level for the tour here that you are finally getting to do, because it's been so long since you've toured America.
Uh-huh. Yes, it's 2019, I thought. Yeah. And yeah, Denver, right? This is on Denver, right?
Yes.
So yeah, we've been to Denver once. Yeah, it's a beautiful city. Yeah, can't wait to be there again. I guess the last time we went to Denver was with Jimmy Eat World, or yeah, right? That was a great experience.
Well, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us, giving us all this great information, and we're really excited to have you back in our wonderful place of living and just to have your music here, because I feel like you guys do such a good job of bringing such a diverse culture to your music.
Thank you very much. We're really looking forward to going to there too.
Well, thank you for taking the time to chat with me. Make sure that you check out Man with a Wish, and that way you can enjoy all of their great music. You can see them on tour, and you can just have a ton of fun with who they are as a band. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we've got more of the show, so stay tuned.
This resort report is brought to you by Sun and Ski Sports, your new mountain sports headquarters.
We want to thank you so much for tuning into your Sunday edition of Wasatch Weekends. We love getting to be here for you all weekend long, so kicking off every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at 7 a.m. You can tune in to find out all of the fun things that are taking place in and around the community. Now, if you've missed the Park City film on Friday or Saturday night, you can still go and enjoy it tonight. You can go to parkcityfilm.org for some more information. I hope that you get out there, you enjoy the mountain today, because it's going to be a great day to do just that, and especially since we have another week left in our wonderful ski season here on Park City Mountain. I've been your host, Maddie Evans, and I'll see you next Friday.